Okay, we want to be respectful of everyone's time, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the 2025 Partners in Giving Volunteer Training. Our theme this year is Build a Better Tomorrow Together. If you haven't, please go ahead and mute your microphones. We're going to ask, because we're going to have a large group of folks here today, that everyone ask your questions in the chat, but throughout the chat, and it may be something though, if we need to follow up with you, we'll ask you if you want to unmute your microphone and chat with us a little bit more. We are recording today's session and we will be posting it to our website at giving.wi.gov. So that way, if you want to re-listen or rehear something or you miss a few minutes of it, it'll be available there for you. Okay, so here is our agenda for today. We're going to go through, welcome, and then we're going to talk about our umbrella and groups and charities. We'll talk about the campaign, why donate, what resources you have as volunteers, either as a chair or a volunteer. We're going to go through logistics and the how-tos. I know that's one of everybody's favorites, like how do I do this and how do you do that? So we have plenty of information that we'll be sharing with that. And then we'll talk about ePledge, reporting, GiveSmart, and just end up with some important reminders that we'll have for this year's campaign. Just introductions. I am Tammy Kuhn Martin. I am the co-chair of the Training Outreach Committee. I also co-chair of the administrative board. I am from UW-Madison in the College of Engineering. And then my co-chair is...
Hey, I'm Lindsay Johnson. I'm joining from the Department of Administration on the state side. And as Tammy mentioned, I am the other half of our coin, if you will. So I am the stateside co-chair of the administrative board as well as the Training and Outreach Committee. So I will be helping around with our team today.
Well, we have a team, as Lindsay said, and we can definitely not do this alone. So I'm going to ask all our Training and Outreach Committee members to turn on their cameras and just give us a big smile and a wave. We could not do this alone without volunteers from the UW and the state agencies, in addition to our umbrella group. So we are very excited to have them all joining us here today. And they've worked really hard on putting together a great presentation, and you'll be hearing from some of them either through the presentation or through the chat. I will add that if you are always looking to volunteer maybe a little more for Partners in Giving, ourselves as the Training Outreach Committee is always looking for additional members. In addition are the other committees that are part of the campaign. So we have a marketing, eligibility, coordinating committee, and technology committee. So if you have any questions or your additional information needed, or just want to go ahead and jump on one of the committees, please feel free to reach out to any of us and we'll get you connected with the folks if it's not Training Outreach Committee. Okay, so now I'm going to turn over the presentation to Jackie Ruggles.
Thank you, Tammy, and I apologize in advance if I freeze up. I'm having a lot of internet issues here today. So I'm Jackie Ruggles. I'm your loan executive for 2025. Thank you to those who have already submitted your materials request forms. We were working on that Friday and today. And that's just one of the many things I can do for you. I can help you set goals and build a campaign plan. I can help you facilitate your special events. I've already seen some requests for that. Securing speakers, we'll be providing materials to you. I can share a number of communication templates, and I can answer any pledging and reporting questions and help you deliver the message. So I'm here to help you have a really successful campaign. Please consider me a primary resource, and I'm happy to help in any way. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie. Appreciate it. And we'll move on here. So to get into the next phases, if you will, a little bit about the campaign for those of you who are returning. You may be familiar with this. For those of you who are new to the campaign, welcome. Partners in Giving is a once-in-a-year volunteer-driven workplace campaign through which the state of Wisconsin, universities of Wisconsin, and UW Health employees can conveniently give to many of your favorite charitable organizations. Since its inception as the State Employees Combined campaign in 1973, the campaign has actually raised more than $90 million for charitable causes. Last year alone, we actually raised $1.9 million. So not without a lot of effort from folks like yourselves, volunteers and chairs, as well as our charitable organizations that join us. Our campaign includes more than 400 participating charitable organizations under 11 umbrella federations. And these provide a wide range of services across our state, either locally or a little bit more departed, I should say further away from us, including globally and across the nation. Each of the 11 participating umbrella organizations and their associated charities must meet rigorous eligibility requirements that are set forth by the state of Wisconsin, and they have to obtain approval through our eligibility committee annually. This is also then signed off on by the Secretary of Administration. So every year we go through this process of recertifying our participating charities. We like to include this slide just as an overview of how the campaign is comprised and kind of where you fall as a chair or as a volunteer. So for those of you returning, you'll be familiar with this kind of structure. It is slightly different than it has been in years past. This combined effort, of course, really saves time and money for all of our participating charitable organizations. And because the campaign is run by hundreds of volunteers like yourselves, the overhead costs are much lower than those of similar campaigns across our country. This also means then that those dollars that are raised and donated through special events or individually go to those charities and umbrellas to support their vital work. Before 2023, our state of Wisconsin was covered in 3 branches of the campaign. And in 2024, we consolidated down to just 2 branches. This year in 2025, this will be the first year that we have a single campaign that covers the entire state. So it will not matter if you were headquartered in a particular county or area. This is one statewide campaign now for everyone. So you're going to see that in your totals if you're looking at reporting as a chair or as a volunteer, that this is including everyone within your unit or your organization that's headquartered within the state of Wisconsin. So you can see here, again, just getting down into the more finite parts of this, we have our state and university coordinating committees. These are a group of folks who are former chairs themselves, and they're here to support you as chairs as well. And then kind of reporting through that, if you will, is yourself as a chair, your agency heads, your deans, and then of course we have our volunteers in that volunteer level, and volunteers and chairs, you're right up next to the donors. You are typically donors yourselves. So it's just a reminder of why it is a volunteer-driven campaign, because we're doing the work, but we're also the donors in this effort. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Sandy, who's going to give us a little bit more about our umbrellas.
And just like the committee is organized, the whole campaign is organized, you just saw. So the charities are organized as well into these 11 different umbrella groups in Partners in Giving. So whether you want to support environmental causes, arts organizations, fighting hunger, helping seniors, whatever the cause, you'll find it somewhere in one of these umbrella organizations. So we invite you to participate. I'm with one of these umbrellas, and on behalf of all of us, thank you for the work you do. And so now over to Lisa.
So why choose a campaign? Excuse me. It's employee driven. Partners in Giving has always been an independent employee driven campaign. It is run entirely by employee volunteers who want to help ensure that charities and the valuable services they provide are available to all who need their assistance. Remember that charities may help your coworker or coworkers, family or friends, not your employer, who benefits when you contribute. It's cost effective. The campaign has less than a 4% overhead cost because you as the employee are doing the work. It's tax deductible. Your donation is tax deductible no matter the size of the gift. You can do it through payroll deduction. Employees can give by payroll deduction instead of a debit or credit card. It's a wide range of charitable choices, multiple charities available due to the variety of participating charities, as Sandy just referenced. And you can check the box requesting that the campaign keep your name and address private. Please do not release my name to any designated charities or associated umbrella groups. I prefer to remain anonymous. And now Sandy's going to take over and tell us what a dollar can buy.
So you and some of the folks you may be working with may want to know, so what difference does my gift make, right? So on this slide, some examples of even $1 a pay period. That makes a difference. $5, $10. On the next slide, we've got $15, $20, and $25, $35 per pay period. Every gift makes a difference. And we just give you these examples so that you can share with your coworkers the transformative work that their gifts are doing. Now over to Kristen.
Okay, we're going to talk just a minute about 2024 campaign results. In total, we raised $1,946,329.60 with a total of just over 3,500 participants, with a 5.7 participation rate, with an average donation that equaled out to about $542 with a $21 an average per 2-week pay period. And on the grand scheme of things, $21 per pay period doesn't really seem like a whole lot, but as we saw from the last 2 slides, it can really make a big impact. What is our goal moving forward? You can go ahead and move to the next slide. Thanks, Tammy. The active campaign dates. Nope, we're going to start. Yeah, I am going to start at the top. Sorry, 2025 campaign active dates. October 6th through December 2nd are the Partners in Giving campaign dates that we're going to highlight this year. Our goal is to keep pace with last year's participation and donor giving. We're going to do that through agencies and departments setting their own goals. You can work with Jackie, our loan executive officer, or other volunteers at your unit or organization levels to set up activities, other things you may want to do in terms of volunteers or one-off activities. We recommend that you collaborate and reach out for those assistance if needed. The campaign wraps up on Giving Tuesday, which is December 2nd. So you can make sure you get all your events and things in for that. Next, we're going to go to Lisa.
Sorry about that. So our website has recently had a makeover, and we are still updating some of the documents and links. Much of what you see is going to be the same as last year, and it's still relevant for this campaign as well. But there are a few site updates over the next couple of weeks. So when you get to the Volunteer and Chair Hub, you're going to want to click on the Volunteers, and then from the drop-down, click on Volunteer and Chair Hub to access our volunteer resources. And then Documents and Templates can be found under Communication Templates, and the campaign graphics are under Graphics. And to request charity speakers, you would click on Charity Speakers. Well, the request is available either virtually or in person to enhance your kickoff or special event. You can request that by clicking here under Volunteers, Volunteer and Chair Hub, then Special Events, and under Make a Request, you can click on the link to request a speaker. It will populate this brief form for you to complete with information such as whether the speaker will be in person or virtual. It will ask for requested dates and times, whether you're requesting a specific charity or topic related to your kickoff or special event. And once you submit this form, Jackie will work with finding a speaker who is available to present or speak at your event. And now back to Kristen.
Okay, here is what some of our paper resources are going to look like if you request paper documents. These are some of the highlights. It talks about some of our umbrella and partner campaigns that you can select from. We can do narrow scope, we can do broad scope. You can kind of get as in-depth or drill down as you want, or you can donate to general umbrellas that will work locally, and then allocate your funds as needed across that umbrella. Donation options. We can do e-pledges.
E-pledges are donations submitted through online pledge systems. You can do payroll deductions or a debit or credit one-time or recurring payment. You can select either one. And you could do a PDF pledge form. It's another one of those paper documents that you may request. Your Partners in Giving person contact can help you with that, or you can also print off a form, I believe, from the website if that is your preference in terms of doing a paper form. You can also complete that paper form for payroll deductions and to write a check and mail that in if that is your preferred method of payment. Also, we can do e-pledge. Back to our fabulous website, you will be able to select your participation in terms of who you are, in terms of how you want to donate, which allocation you want that to go to, a UW-Madison, a state employee, UW Health, or a retiree. You'll be able to select that. It will give you the option to take you where you need to go to finish your online registration and donation forms from there. Pledging portal will not be live until October 4th. So if you need to update your lists or if you need to update employee lists, you can, up to date employee lists are provided sometime in September. I'm sorry, I'm reading ahead of myself. Those will be updated and built into the pledging portal from there. So if you have people who need to be built in, you can let your representatives know. All right, Sophie or Ashley, I think.
It'll be me. Thank
Okay.
you. Great. So I'm gonna just go through a quick overview of the ePledge donation site. I'll have you go to the next slide, please. Great. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is really what the site looks like for a donor that has used our e-pledging system in the past. If you previously were with another campaign, maybe the statewide campaign, the site will not have your pre-populated information from last year, but other returning donors, your information will be in there. So again, this is just the layout for those that are returning. At the bottom there, I'll point out that if you had designations last year, those designations will be listed and you'll be able to just go ahead and click renew this amount. And so just kind of making it easier for those that have given in the past. And then if you're a new donor, if you want to find new agencies, then you'll go in and see this page where it will have all of the umbrellas. And then you can put an amount in for an umbrella and give to that umbrella. Or you can click the orange button, which is the search member charities. And then that button will actually go to the next slide there. That button will actually take you to our search page. And on that bottom part of the slide there, you can see you can search for a specific word or a specific word or part of the charity name. So in that example there, the word food was put in. And so any charity that had the word food in it or had the word food within their description, you'd be able to select your charity there. And then once you've made your selection of charities, you can select as many as you'd like, or you can select one. Then you'll go ahead and you'll be able to review the charities you selected, and then you'll be able to choose which payment option you would like to do. There's the payroll deduction, the credit card paid now, or a credit card paid later, or a recurring one. And then you'll check out and finish it. So within the ePledge portal, you will be able to see real-time results as they are processed. So if you have not provided the volunteer contact information, please make sure to do that. There's information on the screen there as to where to provide that information. We should have all of that access ready to go by October 3rd for this coming campaign. Right. And then for reporting this year, we just wanted to point out some changes with the merge into one campaign. One change this year is that for state agencies, it will no longer be broken down by counties. And then on the Universities of Wisconsin side, with the transition to Workday, there was a new reporting structure. So we're doing our best to get it all in the system, but the reporting may not line up exactly as it has in previous years. So just wanted to point that out, that it may not be exactly the same. All right, and then now I'm just going to go through the reporting portal for chairs and the access that you'll have. So just as you would go into donate, you're still going to start out at giving.wi.gov, select your organization to get in. And then once you're in to your account, you will see a reports option in your top menu. And so then you can go ahead and click on that reports menu. And then this is going to take you to your campaign summary page. The next couple slides is really just kind of one whole page in 3 different slides. So just bear with me as I go through these slides here. So this first page, the top of the page will be the campaign summary, which will give you your overall totals. And then when you scroll down, which will be the next slide here, this will then give you the list of the employee gifts that have come in so far this year. It will provide the donor name and how the gift was received, whether it was a paper or electronic gift, when the gift was entered, and the gift amount. So again, there's no donor information on this page, but just wanted to let you know that that will be shown there. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, then you will see the list of employees that we were given to upload into our system. And so then you would be able to use this list to see people that maybe have given in the prior year, but have not yet given in this year. And you'd be able to just identify, and if you wanted to reach out to them to see if they wanted to donate again. All right, and then for volunteers, again, same way of getting into the system, going to giving.wi.gov, selecting your appropriate organization. Again, you'll then click on the reports tab. And then again, these next couple slides, again, will be scrolling on your end, but then at the top, it'll show your overall campaign summary. And then on the next, scrolling down, it'll show all employee gifts here. On this page, you will get the donor's name and the date that it was entered, but it will not include a gift amount for these donors. It will just show you who has donated as of the date that you are in. One thing I do want to mention is that, you see that blue little box with the Excel or the X on there, that will allow you to export the data if you do need to manipulate the data anyway, or just want to look at it within Excel. So just want to point that is there as well. And I am going to turn it back over to Kristen, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between a pledge and a special event. A pledge is something that you are going to get from your participants that is going to fill out their forms. It's going to be a payroll deduction. It's going to be a one-time or a recurring action that is going to get credited to your department. It's going to get credited towards the participation. It's going to be designated to a specific umbrella. It may not be. They may choose to just make a donation in lieu of a specific umbrella corporation or company or organization, and it just may be at your discretion or at the Partners in Giving campaign discretion. It is not going to be considered a special event. It will be your payroll. That is going to be your pledge. The next is going to be, we're going to talk about a little bit different opportunity through the special event. A special event is participation in the chili kickoffs, the silent auctions. Those are donations that can be made through the Give Smart, through cash or check. It's not considered an individual pledge. It counts towards the department total dollars raised, but does not count towards your department participation total. So something to keep in mind. Make sure you get your regular donators, but bring in the stragglers to make sure you can help get them at least to count towards the donated dollars. And dollars are undesignated contributions to the general campaign fund. We talked just a little bit for a brief moment about the Give Smart, and that is the recommended way to easily collect the payments for these special events. The donor provides their own form, their own information, and they submit the form. The payment options include credit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay. You will find that if you are working on campus, the first thing all the grad students and the students ask you is, do you take Google Pay? For the longest time, we were like, no. So it was really great when this option came around and we were able to include those who only carry phone payments. So this is great. The paper pledge forms do still count, and we do still have those. We would contact your loan executive, Jackie Ruggles, and she will help you arrange for cash pickups, cash bags, and designated spaces that will accept your payments for cash or check payments for your special events for donations. Next. This is back to Ashley, I think.
I got this one here.
Okay, thanks,
yeah.
Sophie.
So there are multiple ways to access GiveSmart. One option is text to give. So those on the state side will go ahead and text Giving State to 41444, and those with the university will text Giving UW to 41444. And then they'll just receive a link via text that will take them to the site. You can also access GiveSmart by scanning the QR code that you see on the screen, or simply using the link that's at the bottom there. And just to reiterate, the GiveSmart contributions do not count towards your participation totals for your department, agency, or unit. They are special events which typically involve an exchange of goods or services, so it's not considered a pledge, but it does benefit the campaign, so we greatly appreciate it. And this slide here is just kind of an example of what you will see when you access the site. So you can either text Giving State or Giving UW to 41444, and you will get that link on the left there. You'll then be prompted to enter some donation information, as well as a description of the event, and it will ask you to indicate which agency is hosting the special event. So there might be some instances where the agency hosting the event is different from your actual workplace agency, such as if you're participating in like a building-wide event or something along those lines. So we just want you to be mindful of that field. And then you'll be prompted to enter payment information. As Kristen shared earlier, GiveSmart accepts credit cards, Google Pay, and Apple Pay. And so we also have these template posters for you to use in promotion of your event. These are available on the website under the Volunteers tab at the top of the screen. You'll then go to the Volunteer and Chair Hub, and you'll find these as well as other resources under the Special Events tab. So you can just kind of plug in some information about your events, your unit, agency name, a description, and then you are good to go. So I will hand it off to Sandy.
Special events, a time to be creative and let your inner child out, right? Special events are fundraising for Partners in Giving, but they're also friend raising, because part of the purpose of special events is to increase participation and enthusiasm and generate some interest in the Partners in Giving campaign. So we encourage you to organize and hold in-person events if possible, virtual events if you need to. Both are fine. There's already a special best practices, special events best practices guide on the website. So if you go to giving.wi.gov and then click on the tab that says Volunteer and Chair Hub, and then on the drop down there, click on special events, you'll see a number of resources for special events, including that best practices guide. We hope you start early, build on your success, remember, campaigning is a team sport, right? So use your team, use your volunteers to help you generate ideas and help you make the special event be the best one ever. And remember that special event funds, while important, go into the general funds for the umbrella organizations, and they don't count toward overall campaign participation because, of course, special events are pooled funds. We can't really identify an individual person. So have fun, maybe challenge other departments, other agencies to a special events contest, right? We in Training and Outreach have some suggestions for you here. Some of you have seen these before. First, the primary reason people don't give is simply because they're not asked. So ask your coworkers, invite them to participate by supporting whatever charity or charities they choose to do. And as we've said before, every gift helps. Whether someone's able to give a significant amount per pay period or $1 per pay period. Every gift is important. Please keep communicating with your coworkers, with your team, with everybody in the campaign as you need to keep the interest and excitement flowing. And use your volunteers. They stepped forward and said, yes, I'll help. So take them up on it. And your committee will do the same thing. The website is a fabulous resource, and it's been updated this year. Some of the updating is still in progress, but you won't want to miss the good information that's there on the website. We think you're doing great. You learn something new every year, but your confidence grows every year as well, and you just have more fun every year. Please do lean on Jackie, the loaned executive. She's there to be a hand holder throughout the whole campaign, so call on her. Encourage people to use the GiveSmart platform. It's a simple, easy electronic way to participate. And finally, remember that at the end of the campaign period, we want to thank people for the tremendous work they've done. So there will be an awards ceremony. And at this point, it's penciled in for March the 18th of next year, but you'll get more information about that later. Tammy, you're up next.
I am. Thank you so much, Sandy. Okay, so a couple save the dates that we have for this still in 2025. We will be holding one more virtual volunteer training. It'll be on Thursday, October 9th from 9:30 to 11. And so if you'd like to attend again, we're covering the same information. Or for my chairs out there, if you have not submitted your volunteer names or emails yet so that we can get them on the list to be able to sign up, please do so that we can get them to attend training. And then we'll be holding our annual mid-campaign check-in, which is going to be November 5th from 1 to 2:30, and it will be virtually. We have found this event. This is an event that our umbrella groups take the lead on, and we found it's very helpful for the number of years. I think we've had it 6 years, 5 or 6 years now, where we kind of just check in to see how things are going, what's working great, what you're having, you know, a little bit of hiccups with, and going from there. So those are, and then obviously Sandy just mentioned that our award ceremony will be next March, on March 18th. At Union South and virtually. Okay, so what can you do after today? You are going to set goals, determine strategies, plan special events, promote the campaign, sort of everything that we've thrown at you so far in our 35 minutes here together. Now, the one thing I forgot to ask when we started is that how many folks on the call were newbies, as we like them, and how many are returners or seasoned. I don't use the word old. I hit a certain age, we don't use the word old anymore. Anyways, if you want to put it in the chat, if you're new, and I will say, if this is your first time that you have volunteered or voluntold, we so greatly appreciate you being here, but we can imagine this probably feels a bit overwhelming. And that is okay, because we have all been there. I remember my first campaign, not even as a volunteer, just as a university employee. I had no idea what it was. And then when I volunteered to be a volunteer, you know, what I thought I knew, I learned more. And so we're always learning new stuff. And so I'm just taking a look here. Oh, yes. Okay. So I'm just taking a look at the chant. I've done the campaign before. Well seasoned. Okay. Funny story about well seasoned. I appreciate you saying well seasoned. I was talking to this elderly woman who was in her 90s one day, and I was telling her about how I don't use the word old. I use seasoned. She goes, boy, I must be everything seasoned then. So I might just have to start, you know, using that. So yeah, so we can learn from each other. You can learn from the seasoned folks, the new folks. Jackie, loaned executive, as we said this. But what questions do people have? Does it feel overwhelming? Is there anything that you were hoping to hear today that you didn't? I'm just kind of going back through. Oh, we have somebody who worked as a loan exec campaign with other companies. Nice. I might have to tag you in at some point. Okay, I'm just looking back through the questions. I know they were answered, but just in case you can't see the chat, one of the questions was, are the umbrella agencies only the state has included, or are those ones United Way have, you know, we have over 500 agencies within United Way. And so the umbrellas and charities, as Lindsay mentioned, they're all submitted to the eligibility committee to be part of the campaign. A charity does have to be part of one of the umbrellas. So, and then I know I answered this one, but just so everybody knows, if you're on the UW side, on the website screen that you saw, it said UW and UWM. That is still from last year's information, but UW Milwaukee was part of the campaign. So this year we're going to update it a little bit slightly because with all the other universities being part of it, we're going to create a landing page for that appropriately. Is there a list of the charities that folks have the choice to donate to or only ways to do a search? You can use ePledge search like Ashley showed us. But a PDF of the booklet. So we have hard copy of the booklet, which chairs, if you submitted your requested materials, will be coming there. But also on the website, there will be a PDF version of the booklet as well. So you don't have to just use ePledge. I personally like using the ePledge if I'm looking for something specific, or even, I know the example Ashley had was food because it does that great search function. But I know it can be overwhelming with that many charities listed in a book. So we definitely try to give you many options for that. Oh, I'm not seeing a signing page. So for volunteers, access reporting. So ePledge will not be going live until October 4th. So that week right before the campaign. As Ashley showed, and we'll have it again available on the website and with these slides. There's sort of two reporting functions. There's a chair report function where the chair will be able to see the detailed information. And then if you're in a volunteer role and your chair has given us your information and the okay to give you access to who has participated in the campaign, you will get that. It'll be available. But again, for the volunteer portal, it is just the names of who participated and a total dollar amount. It doesn't list individual donations out for that.
And it's important to point out too, it's not a separate portal. You're logging into ePledge and it's like a separate tab or listing, if you will, in the overall toolbar that will say reports. That will be specific to chairs or volunteers that we have names for. So.
Nope, great, thanks for adding that. Okay, I think I hit all the questions in the chat. I don't see anything new in there. Does anybody have any additional questions that you either want to put in the chat or come off on mute and say hello to us? Okay. Again, I will just say your resources are going to be fantastic for after you leave here with us today. Our loan executive, Jackie, you're going to have a university coordinating committee member. You're going to have a state coordinating committee member, depending on if you're with the UWs or if you're at a state agency who'll be reaching out. I see Jackie put her email address in there. We just want to say thank you. I know Lindsay showed it when we talked about the org chart and we've said it, but really, honestly, this campaign could not run and be as successful as we are without each and every one of you on this call today. And I'm talking to chairs, volunteers, and my committee members and our umbrellas. I mean, I love to brag about this campaign because you all make it wonderful. Lindsay and I just kind of get to be the top and answer questions when things come up and make sure things smoothly, but without each and every one of you. So a big thank you on our behalf, a big thank you on behalf of our umbrellas and charities, and big thank you on behalf of the recipients that benefit from the funds that we raise here. I know this is a time of year that we're all a bit busy and there's a few more hiccups and little molehills and things that we're all going through, but yet you're still taking the time to volunteer and encourage participation in this campaign. So we can't thank you enough. So I know we are done a little sooner, but we always like to leave a lot of room for Q&A if needed. But if not, take this time and what you need back and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.